maybe you can't do that for your motorcycle brand, but you can get people sharing it, right? And so there's always ways to kind of build a brand. Think about how you can build a brand so that you never have to do marketing, right? I think the best marketing is when you do something so well, you don't have to do the marketing. You have to work for it. Yeah, first thing I did, I think I made a website for selling aftermarket car parts, like think exhaust and rims and stuff like that. I made a website. I became a distributor and all that stuff. I found a distributor, found a place to buy the products, and I'm going to sell them online. I made a website and no one came to it. Typical story. I'm like, wait, how do I get people to it? I got lucky. My cousin is Neil Patel. He was just also getting started into SEO, and he's like, Sujan, you gotta check out this SEO stuff. I'm like, what is this? What's SEO, right? Like, this is like 2001, so there's barely 2002, barely stuff going on in the SEO space. I stumbled on SEO, implemented it, got a lot of traffic. I sucked at business. I was 18 years old, so naturally nothing good came out of me getting traffic. Got a lot of sales. Forgot to put like a no refund policy or a 25% restocking fee. So people refunded products and I was stuck with them. And car products are expensive. So I had like a turbocharger kit for a car for $2,000-$3,000 in my garage because I had to pay them back out of my own pocket. So that whole kind of formulated with starting with building Mailshake. So I was running an agency for a long time called Single Grain, helped a lot of SaaS companies, and I was like, I need to get into SaaS. That's the business model that is way more profitable, way more sustainable than selling your time for money, right? Consulting or agency life. And so I sold that company to join and learn a SaaS company to learn everything, the ins and outs of SaaS from an operations marketing perspective. So I joined as the head of marketing at a company called wheniwork.com, helped take the company from 1 to 15 million. And on the side, because I went from entrepreneur to having a 9-to-5 job, on the side, I started building Mailshake. And Mailshake started in 2015, really long time to get traction. I didn't start getting any money from it until probably this year. This is the first year I've actually got money out. Like, I have a salary now, which is kind of nice. I'm still not at the break-even point. I put more money than I've got out of it in terms of investment. But so it took a long time. Somewhere a year or two into, I was like, okay, this is growing, but it's just, if you're doubling, year over year, or 300% growth, and you're $20,000, tripling is $60,000. It's still very slow. It gets faster, but it takes time, right? So during that time, my partner and I were like, man, building a SaaS company sucks. It takes forever. But why don't we just now it's easy to grow from where we are at Mailshake today to the next year or two, and it was. We got to $1 million in ARR pretty quickly. I think we pivoted a lot, but from when we pivoted to launch, it was probably like 9-10 months. Something like that. It was under a year. Ultimately, we're like, let's just buy companies and grow them, do the same thing. That was the initial plan, and so we bought one, and then I was like, I found another one. Both we got really good deals. One of them we grew, one of them we did absolute bad job at. Everything we could have done wrong, we did. And then over time we got better at running SaaS, and so we buying bigger companies. And so now we're focusing on buying $1 to $2 million ARR companies. Yeah, I think 2020 and beyond is really about building your brand, building up sustainable growth channels. So like content, SEO, building a community, engaging with your customers, trying to have that relationship virtually, get them engaged, get them sharing content on the web, right? Okay, you sell. I have a friend who sells like motorcycle parts, and it's just like he does it for the brand manufacturer KTM parts, KTM, yeah. Right? They sell a sprocket and all other stuff like that, right? Not a lot of sexy stuff. It's just replacement parts. he asked all his customers, like, hey, just when you get it, just go take a picture of you working on it, on your bike. Take a picture of you riding your bike. And he does like a community contest every month of like best most creative picture, like most badass writing, right? Yeah. And it started with 1 or 2 or 10 customers participating, uploading a picture. Those pictures ended up replacing his stock photos of the parts, right? So now he has free content. That helped him get a lot more SEO value because he had unique content and images, shared on social media, got the community engaged, and now people who buy from him often share on social, which then leads to more purchases. I would focus on mobile, very, very big emphasis on mobile and social as well. Look, Instagram, is still such a big channel to leverage for not just the organic side of like, getting shares and posting good stuff and getting engagement, but more also on this paid side of things as well. People are on that platform more than ever, and other platforms as well, but specifically Instagram. You can never leave Instagram and go through a whole checkout flow. So it's just, talk about reducing friction, right? But I think going back to the first point, building a brand, it's not sexy, it's not easy, it's gonna take time. But when you think of shoes, you think of Nike, right? What do they do? Everyone here should be reading the book or have read the book Shoe Dog. Yeah, they invested in the running community, right? They built a brand around running and other athletic sports, right? They've got athletes that are the influencers. Before as influencers, athletes, celebrities, what have you. Maybe you can't do that for your motorcycle brand, but you can get people sharing it, right? And so there's always ways to kind of build a brand. Think about how you can build a brand so that you never have to do marketing, right? I think the best marketing is when you do something so well, you don't have to do the marketing. You have to work for it. Yeah, I think what's pissing me off is the rise of people just depending on influencers to launch their products and just banking on that as the core marketing. Look, it is a great strategy, but like every marketing strategy tactic ever, it will die. Everything goes to the graveyard at some point, and then sometimes it comes back, right? But like, you read something like, oh, this XYZ company launched with these like 3 influencers, they crushed it. Look, a lot of times the big influencers won't have the big impact that you think they're gonna have, and the smaller ones may have bigger impacts than you think, but test it, see how it works, but don't forget about SEO, PPC, good old-fashioned email marketing, reducing friction on the conversion, mobile optimization. Don't forget about the basics, because you can get Kim Kardashian to promote your product. Coming from the SaaS world, retention is the most important factor of business. It's bigger than marketing because you can actually get net negative churn, but aka more people spending more money with you than losing. But in e-commerce, when you apply that, it's really focusing on how do you get repeat business? How do you get that? Again, building that community. I think first and foremost, build the lifecycle marketing of your email list. Okay, somebody engages in your newsletter, somebody downloads a coupon. Don't ever stop talking to them. Have a life cycle over the course of a year or two of what they're gonna do. If they purchase a product, think about what else you can get them. Think about what else you can get them to engage with. So a lot of retention is not just about getting repeat purchases. It's about customers who've purchased once, engaging with your brand or content again and again, and keeping them engaged, right? There's a company called Uncommon Goods. Uncommon Goods, really cool website in the US. They sell like handmade stuff. It's like Etsy, but they more of like an e-commerce and not like a marketplace. Yeah. My wife loves like handmade stuff, and so I don't know how to make shit with my hands. I type on the computer, right? But I know how to buy stuff from people who know how to make stuff from their hands. Anyways, these guys are awesome. Their lifecycle marketing, just subscribe to their go to their site and opt into their form. They will drip you forever with really interesting stuff based off what you bought, right? And it's not like, oh, buy this because this person did it. They're like they're telling stories of like, oh, like how this one seller is like got this wood from like some parts of Africa, and like, you know, it's like eco-friendly, and like there's a story behind it, right?
Yeah.
And so I care little about a lockbox. I care a lot about this cool piece of wood that like went through something, and this is how it got here, you know, harm-free, or whatever you care about. It gets me to think about the story and the brand, not the product I'm buying. First thing I would do is focus on the conversion, right? I would use something like OmniConvert to figure out what the heck are my visitors doing on the website? Like, what are they getting close to buying? Where is the funnel? Where does it break, right? What can I do better to engage my email list or get emails in general? I found we've done probably about a dozen or so implementations of just a form of marketing or email marketing for e-commerce sites at Web Profits, our agency.
Yeah.
And what I found in almost all the cases is that getting an email and then dripping them to become a customer converts at a higher net rate than trying to get them to become a customer. Why? You can. It's the typical rule of 7 touches to convert, right? You can create a custom audience and remarket to them on Facebook. You can make a lookalike audience and capture who those would be. Keep dripping them with stuff. Eventually, they will convert. Again, you can follow them around in other places, but ultimately, I think focusing on email and lifecycle marketing is really a big a key, and it also hits on the brand and the community and the engagement, not just a one-time sale. I would just say fail faster, right? I used to think a lot about stuff and try to get validation when all that effort I did to validate the idea, I could have just done the idea, right? So just go do stuff, right? You have an idea, a lot of times it's gonna suck in the beginning, and that's okay. You don't get the good ideas or experience until you go through a lot of bad ones. And then I would say seek mentorship. Best decision I've ever done is probably sell my business and go get a job at a SaaS company. Why? Because I knew a lot about marketing and I've implemented marketing for SaaS companies, but when I worked at one, I really saw the inside of a SaaS and the little details of what makes the magic happen or what makes something fail, or like how bad you can hire, how like a bad hire is really bad for the whole, the whole morale of the company. Just all sorts of problems I would have to probably figure out at my own company if I didn't have an experience to it before. I think AI machine learning is going to be a marketer's best friend. It may never do the full job. People claim it does now. I call BS on that. I think it's good information, insight to better help you, the marketer, make the right decision, right? What sort of copy works best? Customizing a user experience, looking through lots of data to kind of analyze trends and kind of direction of where you should be going. It's not going to tell you where to go, but it can tell you where things look like they're going right now.